She was staring at her test paper that showed a perfect score when suddenly, the school's female bully shoved her hard from behind. At first, Xiao Kuei thought it was just a small accident, but the moment the bully reached out her hand as if to help, she violently snatched Xiao Kuei's bag and dumped all her books straight into the dirt. The most disgusting part? That bully secretly stuffed filth, actual feces, into Xiao Kuei's shoes, then incited the other classmates to laugh at her. Xiao Kuei quietly sat by the wash basin, washing her filthy shoes and socks, her tears mixing with the water, silent but endless. This kind of bullying followed her from primary school all the way to middle school. Bit by bit, her confidence shattered completely. Whenever she caught sight of Huali, the same bully, even from far away, she'd immediately change her route. But even then, her desk and books never escaped torment. There was always some nasty graffiti scribbled all over them. One day, while Xiao Kuei was cleaning her desk, the school's handsome top student, the campus heartthrob, walked by and noticed her. Startled, she froze, but to her surprise, he came over and helped her clean. That unexpected kindness warmed Xiao Kuei's fragile heart just a little. But what happened next completely shocked her. That same popular boy suddenly confessed his love to her. For Xiao Kuei, it felt like a dream come true, but because of her low self-esteem, she immediately lowered her head and whispered, "I'm not that cute. I'm just a boring, nerdy girl." The moment those words left her lips, hidden classmates suddenly jumped out from behind the pillars and started shouting. They were demanding the reward for losing a bet to that popular boy. That's when Xiao Kuei realized the whole confession was just a cruel prank, and behind it all was Huali. She had planned everything just to humiliate Xiao Kuei in front of everyone. The embarrassment was unbearable. Still, Xiao Kuei mustered the courage to speak up, but before she could finish a word, Huali threatened her coldly. Terrified, Xiao Kuei immediately apologized. Huali laughed mockingly and said, "Oh, there was a mosquito on your face. I was just trying to help you." Everyone burst into even louder laughter. Thankfully, the teacher showed up just in time and stopped them all. After those painful school years finally passed, Xiao Kuei entered college, hoping to start over and leave the scars of the past behind. There, she met a senior from the astronomy club, Ji Ping. From the very first meeting, their hearts seemed to connect. They spent nights watching the stars together, whispering wishes under shooting stars, and sharing endless late-night talks. For Xiao Kuei, those were the most beautiful moments of her life. After graduation, the two of them got married. Everything seemed absolutely perfect. A loving husband, a peaceful life, and the kind of happiness she had always dreamed of. But only a short while after the wedding, things began to change. Ji Ping started coming home late, using overtime as an excuse. Sometimes he didn't come home at all. A dark suspicion began to grow inside Xiao Kuei's heart. One day, she called her husband's office phone, but on the other end, she heard strange voices, awkward laughter, and confusing English words that made no sense. Everything sounded off, deeply suspicious. Her gut told her, something is definitely wrong. So, she decided to find out the truth. She secretly hired a private detective, and when she finally read the investigation report, her world collapsed beneath her feet. Ji Ping was cheating on her, and the most shocking part, his affair was with Huali, the same girl who had tormented Xiao Kuei for years in school. But Xiao Kuei didn't break. Instead, she gathered all her strength and went straight to Huali's office to confront her. In a calm, steady voice, she said, "Just stay away from Ji Ping. I won't say anything. I don't want to make a scene." But Huali had become even more arrogant and cruel than before. She grabbed Xiao Kuei by the wrist and dragged her toward the front desk. "If Ji Ping chose me," she said with a smirk, "then that's your fault, not mine." Then she leaned in closer, whispering vicious words meant to stab straight through Xiao Kuei's heart, and walked away without looking back. Xiao Kuei instinctively tried to stop her, but Huali deliberately knocked a vase to the floor, then fell down screaming, "Help! Help! She's trying to attack me!" Security guards rushed over. Without asking a single question, they grabbed Xiao Kuei and forced her outside. As she was being dragged out, Huali blew her a mocking flying kiss, turning the entire scene into a twisted performance. That was the moment something inside Xiao Kuei finally snapped. She broke free from the guards and ran toward Huali, but before she could reach her, a man grabbed her tightly and stopped her. In that instant, Xiao Kuei saw Huali's snake-like smile, and the scream that tore out of her chest shook the entire hall. But the cruelest blow of all was seeing Ji Ping standing there, watching everything, and choosing to side with Huali. At that moment, the place where everything had begun became the place where Xiao Kuei's world ended. She quietly walked away and filed for divorce. Soon, rumors about her spread throughout Ji Ping's company, and she was forced to resign. She deleted all of Ji Ping's contacts, packed her bags, and returned to her hometown. Months passed, half a year slipped away. She lived a hollow, broken life filled with silence and loneliness. One day, when she returned home from grocery shopping, she noticed a wedding invitation envelope lying in her mailbox. She picked it up. Inside was a photo of Huali and Ji Ping's wedding. In that single moment, years of pain and rage erupted. She tore the photo into pieces, ripped it until nothing was left but shreds. And then, her eyes fell on a plastic surgery poster pinned to the wall nearby. At that moment, a dark plan for revenge was born in her mind. The scene shifts. Xiao Kuei is lying on the cold operation table. She had bet everything she had. Her savings, her divorce compensation, every single penny. On this one surgery. When the white cloth was finally lifted from her face, a new woman emerged, a new life, a new identity. The old Xiao Kuei was dead. In her place stood Xiao Jin, a woman reborn for revenge. She swore she would change everything about herself. She had always been naturally left-handed, but she forced herself to become right-handed. She retrained her handwriting, stroke by stroke, until it was unrecognizable. She practiced walking differently, changed her posture. Every tiny detail of who she was before had to disappear. The transformation was complete. When she finally returned to the same city where Huali and Jiping now lived as a married couple, she quietly rented an apartment right next to theirs. Every night, she stood on her balcony, watching them from afar like a ghost haunting their happiness. Her eyes followed every move they made. One day, she noticed that Jiping often visited a particular flower shop, so Xiao Jin applied for a job there. With her new beauty and charm, she was hired instantly. That's where her comeback truly began. The first time Jiping walked into the shop, it was their first face-to-face encounter after the surgery. Xiao Jin stood right in front of him, but he didn't recognize her at all. With a calm, polite smile, she wrapped his bouquet, then gently tucked a small green clover between the flowers. "This one's for good luck," she said warmly. Jiping smiled and took it without thinking, but what he didn't know was that the clover carried another meaning: revenge reborn. That evening, when Huali saw the bouquet at home, she squealed with excitement, threw her arms around Jiping, and the two of them looked like the perfect couple. From her balcony, Xiao Jin watched them through binoculars. It was the same scene from 3 years ago, the same way she had once hugged Jiping. Something inside her cracked, but her face remained blank. No sadness, no tears, only a cold, burning hatred. Inside her room, the walls were covered with photos, old pictures of Jiping and Huali together, each one a scar that reminded her of what she had lost. And right in the middle stood a telescope, the one she used to track their every move. In her mind, one thought echoed endlessly: "You both stole my life, now I'll take your piece." That three-leaf clover would be her first signal, the mark of a revenge game Huali didn't even know had already begun. One evening, Xiao Jin stood before her dressing mirror, holding the wedding photo of Huali and Jiping. She looked at her reflection, at the stranger she had become. For a moment, the lights flickered, and in the mirror, she saw her old face, the fragile Xiao Kuei staring back at her. She whispered softly, "I'm not that good." The camera slowly zoomed out. A cold, sharp smile spread across her new face, and in the background, dark music swelled, the theme of revenge. One day, Jiping was having dinner with his office colleagues. Xiao Jin had everything meticulously planned, a perfectly staged encounter. She approached their table carrying a tray and smiled warmly. "My friend cancelled last minute, and I ended up with too much food. You all look familiar, so I thought I'd share." The colleagues were stunned. Such a beautiful woman standing right in front of them. "Please, join us at our table," they urged. For Jiping, saying no was impossible. He offered a polite, formal smile, and that was how their first face-to-face encounter after all those years unfolded. During dinner, Xiao Jin's emotions were a storm within, though her exterior remained calm. After the meal, they walked in the same direction. Xiao Jin seized the opportunity to start a conversation. Astronomy, Jiping's favorite topic. As soon as she mentioned stars, galaxies, and nebulae, Jiping suddenly lit up. The sparkle that had once captivated her eyes returned to his. Their conversation deepened, and slowly, the distance between them began to shrink. But Jiping had no idea. He was falling back into his ex-wife's trap. Xiao Jin casually suggested, "Let's grab a drink, it'll help us relax." Jiping hesitated at first. He feared Huali might find out and punish him, but thinking, what's the harm in one drink, he agreed, and they headed to a high-end bar owned by Tonggu, a sharp, mysterious man. They were enjoying themselves when a seductive silhouette appeared at the entrance. Huali herself. Xiao Jin froze. She feared everything she had planned had been ruined. Terrified, she rushed to the restroom, and the entire scene was witnessed by Tonggu. Standing before the mirror, Xiao Jin caught sight of her own reflection. For a fleeting moment, she saw her old self, Xiao Kuei, fragile and broken. The weak Xiao Kuei whispered, "The ugly, defeated woman is dead. Only the beautiful Xiao Jin remains alive." Hearing this, all fear vanished from her mind, and a new, even more dangerous plan began to form. Leaving the restroom, Xiao Jin approached Huali with a soft, innocent smile. She showered Huali with compliments, flattering her ego to perfection. Impressed, Huali added her to Green Bubble lineup and said as she left, "Someday we should go out for lunch together." The moment Huali was gone, Xiao Jin's smile disappeared, replaced by a cold, calculating expression. Just then, Tonggu appeared in front of her, blocking her way. "I know there's some history between you and Huali," he said. Xiao Jin pretended to be oblivious, but Tonggu's eyes told the truth. He had seen everything. There was a mysterious calm in his gaze, as if he could peer straight into people's minds. The next afternoon, Huali and Xiao Jin met for afternoon tea at a cafe. Huali proudly flaunted her million-follower social media account, boasting about her fame. Xiao Jin smiled and praised her lightly. "Wow, you're amazing. I feel so inspired." Then, casually, she asked, "So, how did you and Jiping meet?" Without shame, Huali twisted the story, turning her affair into a tale of true love redemption, while calling Jiping's ex-wife, Xiao Kuei, boring, useless, and worthless. Xiao Jin's anger boiled inside, yet not a single emotion surfaced outwardly. After lunch, the two went to a men's store where Huali picked a bright necktie for Jiping. She asked Xiao Jin for her opinion. Xiao Jin, knowing Ji Ping's taste well, chose a simple, elegant tie. And guess what? Ji Ping loved the very tie Xiao Jin had selected. Hua Li's face changed in an instant, jealousy and insecurity surfacing all at once. To Xiao Jin, it was all part of the plan. Inside, she smiled quietly. Discovering the tie was for an anniversary gift, she immediately offered, "I'll help arrange a surprise for Hua Li." Ji Ping happily agreed and exchanged contacts. On the anniversary day, Xiao Jin moved to the next phase of her plan. Using voice changer software, she sent a fake complaint to Ji Ping's company, ensuring he was stuck at the office until late. The result, Ji Ping returned home exhausted and empty-handed. Hua Li exploded upon seeing him. "You're so late. Where's the gift?" Ji Ping tried to explain, but Hua Li screamed at him for 3 non-stop hours, berating and insulting him. Xiao Jin watched everything from across the window, her face dark, her smile satisfied. The next day, Ji Ping was confused. He asked Xiao Jin, why wasn't the gift delivered? Innocently, she replied, "There was a network issue, the order failed." He apologized, and inside, Xiao Jin laughed silently. Ha ha ha, plan successful. That day, bar owner Tong Gu secretly took a photo of Xiao Jin and Ji Ping, and that night sent Xiao Jin a blackmail message. "Meet me tonight, or I'll make the photo public." Frightened, Xiao Jin ran a background check. Tong Gu wasn't a criminal, just observant and straightforward. Someone Hua Li didn't like. When they met at the bar, Tong Gu said, "I know about your feud with Hua Li. I hate her too. Why don't we team up and break her?" Tong Gu was telling the truth. He was irritated by Hua Li's frequent bar visits and flirtatious behavior. Xiao Jin didn't immediately agree. She suspected it might be another trap. Meanwhile, Ji Ping tried to make amends, gifting Hua Li an expensive designer bag. Hua Li responded coldly, "I'm not materialistic. I need time, I need love." The next day, Xiao Jin saw Ji Ping looking slightly down at the park. She seized the opportunity and invited him to the planetarium to watch the stars. They sat silently under the night sky, while Hua Li went to the bar to flirt with Tong Gu, criticizing her husband behind his back. "You're my type. Let's start something." Tong Gu smiled and played along, planning his own moves. They exchanged contacts. Meanwhile, Xiao Jin returned from the planetarium and fell into Ji Ping's arms in an emotional, seductive gesture. But Ji Ping gently pushed her away. "I can't betray Hua Li." Xiao Jin held back her tears and retreated to her room. That night, she received proof of Hua Li's betrayal from Tong Gu. Her revenge fire ignited once again. She cut off her 20-year-long hair, staring into the mirror, whispering, "No more masks, the real battle begins now." She contacted Tong Gu. "I'm ready, let's end her." The plan was simple. When Hua Li went on a date with Tong Gu, they would bring Ji Ping along so he could witness everything with his own eyes. And when Hua Li's world shattered, Xiao Jin would draw her broken husband into her own orbit. The next day, Hua Li went on a date with Tong Gu, but little did she know, her ex-rival, Xiao Jin, was already there, hidden, recording everything. When Xiao Jin saw Hua Li and Tong Gu holding hands and showing close gestures, she immediately approached Hua Li and asked, "Why are you betraying your husband?" Hua Li panicked, quickly letting go of Tong Gu's hand. "You're misunderstanding, we're just friends." But the moment she said that, Tong Gu made an excuse and left, clearly avoiding getting trapped in the drama. Hua Li tried to stop him, but Xiao Jin intercepted her. Both walked along the riverbank. Xiao Jin took out 2 bottles of green tea, a symbolic gesture, hinting, "I understand everything." Hua Li first displayed her usual arrogance, pretending all was normal. But the moment Xiao Jin said, "I'll tell Ji Ping everything," Hua Li immediately panicked and began to cry, pleading, "Please, let this stay between us." Exactly the moment Xiao Jin had been waiting for. Calmly, she replied, "Okay, I'll keep it a secret, but you'll have to do one thing. You and Ji Ping will go on a camping trip with me." Forced, Hua Li reluctantly agreed, unaware that this trip was about to become a trap for her life. Tong Gu, who had run away earlier, had actually stayed nearby. He went straight to Ji Ping and revealed the truth. "Your wife has been secretly meeting someone." Ji Ping was shocked. Tong Gu showed screenshots of their chats on his phone. All proof. Ji Ping collapsed in realization, sitting on a bench, staring blankly. Tong Gu then said, "I'm not interested in Hua Li. I just want her to leave me alone." Then he suggested, "You both go on the camping trip. I'll pretend to be interested in Xiao Jin, so Hua Li will get jealous and stay away from me." Ji Ping agreed without thinking, unaware that the entire plan was actually Xiao Jin's doing. Next scene, 4 people arrive at a scenic camping site. Everyone is busy with their own activities, except Hua Li, standing like a spoiled princess. Ji Ping felt irritated but kept quiet. During the barbecue, Tong Gu intentionally served grilled meat to Xiao Jin. Hua Li, seeing this, got jealous immediately. "Give me some too." Ji Ping observed everything, controlling his emotions, boiling inside, yet showing nothing. Xiao Jin watched carefully. She knew Ji Ping's biggest weakness was patience, and she was about to use it against him. Finally, Hua Li pretended to help. "I'll get some wood." But all the wood she brought was wet, impossible to light. Ji Ping sarcastically said, "Try dry wood next time." Hua Li's anger exploded. Xiao Jin stepped in, smoothing the situation, and skillfully carved the wet wood into flower shapes, then lit the fire. Ji Ping was impressed. Hua Li, furious, dumped her work on him and went to scroll her phone. Ji Ping disliked her even more. Then Xiao Jin quietly immediately threw Hua Li's leftover wood into the river, making an excuse. Firewood's finished, Ji-ping, let's get some more. Don't miss this. Everything was part of the plan. In the forest, Xiao Jin casually asked, do you trust Hua Li so much? What if she was with someone else? Ji-ping got confused, thinking for a moment. Xiao Jin pretended to be hurt and walked inside. After a few seconds of hesitation, Ji-ping followed her. Exactly what Xiao Jin wanted. A private moment, a chance to create a place in his heart. Meanwhile at the campsite, Tonggu apologized to Hua Li for the running away incident the other day. Hua Li acted cold at first, but softened after a while, asking, my back hurts, can you massage it? Tonggu placed his hand on her hair from behind, and started speaking in a soft, intimate tone. High above the campsite, Xiao Jin and Ji-ping reached a vantage point, where they could see everything below. Hua Li and Tonggu were in a close pose. Ji-ping froze in shock. Xiao Jin signaled with her torch. Tonggu understood and immediately withdrew his hand, but Ji-ping's heart was already broken. Xiao Jin calmly said, maybe you're misunderstanding. Perhaps this is just a misunderstanding. Inside, she was elated. Another step of her plan had succeeded. Night had fallen. Xiao Jin intentionally dropped the torch's battery, pretending she had fallen. Ji-ping helped her up, seeing she seemed slightly hurt, and said, let's sit by the fire here and wait for help. They sat by the campfire. Ji-ping confessed, I made a mistake leaving my ex-wife. Now it feels like the wrong decision. Xiao Jin subtly asked, if you had the chance to go back, would you go to your ex-wife? Ji-ping stayed silent. His silence was the answer. Irritation flashed on Xiao Jin's face. The reflection of her old self, Xiao Kuei, appeared in her mind, telling her, calm down, control yourself. She restrained her emotions, then slowly approached Ji-ping. Could you accept a woman like me? Without waiting, she took his hand, and kissed him on the lips. Ji-ping was shocked, but his resistance slowly melted. When he finally kissed her back, Xiao Jin secretly pulled out her phone and recorded everything. This was the moment she had been planning for so many days. Her perfect revenge footage was captured. Tonggu and Hua Li returned from the camp, and Hua Li, feigning concern, went to Ji-ping. But little did she know, Ji-ping's heart had already moved elsewhere. The alliance between Xiao Jin and Tonggu was now fully successful. Over the next few days, Xiao Jin and Ji-ping grew closer. She went on dates with him, and each time, his inner guilt and confusion grew. For Xiao Jin, it was a psychological game, her slow, intoxicating revenge. One evening, Ji-ping invited Hua Li to watch a meteor shower, but she coldly refused. I'm not interested. Sad Ji-ping gave the invitation to Xiao Jin instead. She smiled and accepted. They sat on the grass field, watching shooting stars. A romantic silence enveloped them. Ji-ping kissed her. Xiao Jin softly said, I know another place where shooting stars are even brighter. We'll have to go a little further. Ji-ping looked into her eyes and said, I'll tell Hua Li the truth. After that, we'll be together, no secrets. Xiao Jin rested her head on his shoulder and smiled. Her revenge was almost complete. The next day, she told Tonggu, book a villa under Ji-ping's name. I'll take him there. Ji-ping lied to Hua Li, saying he was going on a business trip, and the next morning, he left with Xiao Jin, heading into a journey that was about to become hellish for him and perfect for her revenge. You loved the drama? Smash that like button and subscribe so you don't miss episode 2. It's about to get wild. Your support helps us drop the next episode faster. Stay tuned, the real twist is just getting started.